There comes a moment in a man's life when his heart becomes tired, not from working, not from walking, not from carrying weight, but from constantly trying to earn approval from people who don't even understand themselves. You try to please them. You try to impress them. You try to appear strong, successful, confident. You try to meet expectations that were never yours to carry. But slowly, deep inside your chest, you feel a quiet truth rising. This is not who I am. This is not the life I want. This is not the way I wish to move. Zen Buddhism teaches something gentle and powerful. A man becomes free the moment he stops seeking permission to be himself. Take a slow breath. Feel the air enter your lungs. Let your shoulders drop. Let your mind settle. Let the noise of the world fade for a moment. You are entering a space where truth becomes clearer. Approval is a strange thing. People clap for you today and forget you tomorrow. They praise you when it benefits them and criticize you when it doesn't. If you base your worth on their voices, you will always be unstable, like a leaf that moves wherever the wind pushes it. Zen says, when your center is outside you, you will always feel lost. When your center is inside you, you will always feel grounded. Look at nature. It teaches without speaking. A tree does not beg the world to like its shape. It grows upward simply because that is its nature. Some admire its branches. Others ignore them. But the tree continues to grow with quiet confidence. A river does not ask for permission before flowing. It does not wait for approval to take its path. It simply follows its direction, calmly cutting through mountains and stone. The moon does not wait for applause before it shines in the night sky. It rises without asking, glows without fear, rests without guilt. Why then should you shrink your soul just to fit into someone else's comfort zone? Why should you silence your inner wisdom just to keep others happy? Why should you hold back your greatness because someone else feels small beside it? A man who seeks approval loses his inner balance. He starts to live in constant fear. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of misunderstanding. He becomes a prisoner to the thoughts of people who do not even think deeply about him. But a man who needs no approval walks differently. His steps are slower because he is not rushing to impress. His voice is calmer because he does not fear being judged. His eyes are clearer because he is not looking outside for direction. His actions are intentional because they come from inner knowledge, not from pressure. Zen teaches, when you stop chasing approval, life begins to flow naturally. You begin to notice beauty again. You begin to feel your emotions again. You begin to make choices that align with your heart, instead of society's expectations. Your shoulders feel lighter because you are no longer carrying the weight of everyone's opinions. Your mind becomes quieter because you stop trying to predict what others will say or think. Your heart becomes stronger because you are finally living your truth. Imagine moving through life without the need to pretend. Imagine walking forward without fear of what people will say. Imagine speaking your truth without worrying about who agrees. Imagine choosing your path without asking for validation. This is Zen freedom. This is inner peace. This is masculine clarity. You do not need people's approval to grow, to try, to fail, to rise, to evolve, to restart, to breathe, to be you. Approval can be taken back. Praise can fade. Opinions can change. But your inner truth, that cannot be taken from you unless you give it away. Zen masters say, if you keep adjusting your shape to fit every container, you will forget your original form. How many times have you changed yourself just to be accepted? How many words have you swallowed just to avoid conflict? How many dreams have you buried because someone laughed at them? How many times have you dimmed your light because someone felt uncomfortable? This is the pain of approval. It asks you to betray yourself in exchange for temporary acceptance. But Zen offers a simpler path. Be yourself, fully, quietly, calmly, without force, without fear, and the right people will appear naturally. Your energy will attract what is meant for you. When you stop trying to impress what was never meant for you, you do not need to walk loudly to be seen. You do not need to speak strongly to be heard. You do not need to demand attention to be respected. As a man moves gently, yet powerfully. He speaks softly, yet meaningfully. He acts slowly, yet purposefully. Power is not in speed. Power is in awareness. Power is not in approval. Power is in authenticity. Power is not in trying to be everything. Power is in accepting who you truly are. There is a quiet strength inside every man, a strength that sleeps for years, until life finally forces him to wake it. This strength is not loud. It does not shout. It does not seek attention. It does not need to be admired. It is the strength of a man who finally understands that approval is nothing more than a passing shadow. Zen Buddhism teaches a man's true power begins when he stops borrowing confidence from the opinions of others. Sit with that for a moment, because most people do not know this. Most men live their entire lives through the eyes of others. They wake up wondering, what will people think? They act thinking, will they like this? They speak wondering, will they judge me? They dream thinking, what if they laugh? And without even realizing it, their life is no longer their own. Their soul becomes a puppet to the strings of approval. But Zen says, when the noise outside becomes louder than the voice inside, a man loses his path. This is why inner silence is important. This is why awareness is important. This is why being alone is important. Because when a man sits quietly with himself, even for a few minutes, he begins to hear something that he hasn't heard in a long time. His own truth, not society's truth, not people's expectations, not family pressure, not the fear of judgment, his own truth. And that truth is gentle. It whispers instead of shouting. It invites instead of forcing. It guides instead of controlling. It says things like, you don't have to be perfect. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't have to live with fear. You are allowed to choose your own direction. You are allowed to grow beyond who you were. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to be yourself. Zen teaches that truth is like water. It takes the shape of your container, your mind, your beliefs, your self-image. Change your container, and your whole life begins to flow differently. But as long as your container is shaped by approval, your water will always spill. When someone disapproves of you, think about it. How many times have you stopped yourself because someone raised an eyebrow? How many dreams have you delayed because someone said, it's too risky? How many moments have you lost because you feared being misunderstood? Fear steals more life than failure ever will, and approval creates fear. But when a man no longer needs approval, something magical happens to his mind. His thoughts are no longer heavy. His emotions are no longer loud. His heart is no longer shaking. His path is no longer confusing. He begins to move differently, not quickly, not slowly, but naturally. There is a soft confidence in the way he walks, a quiet certainty in the way he works, a peaceful clarity in the way he makes decisions. He becomes like a mountain, still, calm, unmoving, not because he is stubborn, but because he is grounded, grounded in his values, grounded in his truth, grounded in his awareness. Zen says, if you know your direction, you do not get lost just because someone else walks a different way. So many men feel lost today just because they keep comparing themselves to people who are not even walking their road. But a man who needs no approval does not compare. He does not compete. He does not chase. He simply continues. And that continuation is powerful, because consistency is stronger than perfection. Awareness is stronger than approval. Presence is stronger than popularity. When you are present, you see things as they are, not as the world tells you they should be. You see your own worth without needing compliments. You see your own progress without needing applause. You see your own strength without needing recognition. Zen teaches, a man becomes wise when he stops performing and starts living. Living with awareness means you stop rushing through your days, trying to keep everyone satisfied. You speak with intention. You breathe with calmness. You listen with softness. You walk with clarity. You make choices from your heart, not from pressure. People who live for approval are always tired. Not physically, but emotionally. They are tired of being watched, tired of trying to fit in, tired of pretending, tired of holding masks, tired of fearing judgment. But when a man stops needing approval, his spirit finally rests. There is peace in his voice, even when he speaks little. There is stability in his steps, even when the path is uncertain. There is bravery in his heart, even when he feels fear. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving anyway, without needing someone to tell you that you are capable. Approval-dependent men wait for confidence. Zen men create confidence. Approval-dependent men wait for certainty. Zen men walk even when the path is not fully visible. Approval-dependent men wait for applause. Zen men move because the moment has arrived. When you no longer need approval, you become unstoppable, not because you fight the world, but because you no longer fight yourself. Your inner world becomes aligned. Your thoughts stop arguing with each other. Your heart stops doubting itself. Your soul stops waiting for permission. You simply exist in your truth. And that truth is your power. Zen masters say, the man who walks quietly often walks the farthest. Why? Because he wastes no energy on impressing others. All his energy goes into growth, learning, reflection, creation, awareness, presence, peace. This is the man you are becoming. The man who moves like he needs no approval. Calm, clear, centered, aligned, unshakable, present. The kind of man whose silence is more powerful than other people's noise. The kind of man whose stillness is more meaningful than other people's actions. The kind of man whose presence is enough. This is the Zen masculine energy. And the more you walk this path, the more you will feel something beautiful. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support you. Not everyone will approve of you. And that is perfectly okay, because you are no longer living for everyone. You are living for you. There comes a time in every man's life when he must choose between two paths. The path where he keeps living for others, or the path where he finally returns to himself. Returning to yourself does not mean isolation. It does not mean selfishness. It does not mean cutting the world away. Returning to yourself means you stop abandoning your own heart just to keep others comfortable. It means you stop apologizing for your truth, for your voice, for your dreams, for your existence. It means you understand a powerful Zen truth. You were not born to impress the world. You were born to awaken your inner world. And when a man awakens inside, the world outside changes naturally. He no longer forces things. He no longer rushes. He no longer begs for acceptance. He no longer fears silence. He no longer over-explains himself. He starts to live like a calm river, moving, flowing, progressing, but never desperate to be seen. Zen teaches that a man who knows himself walks differently. You can see it in the way he stands. You can hear it in the way he breathes. You can feel it in the way he speaks. He does not raise his voice. He does not seek attention. He does not argue to win. He does not force his worth. He simply is, like a mountain that stands tall, even when no one is watching, like the moon that shines, even when clouds cover it, like the wind that moves freely, even when no one praises it. This is the energy of a man who needs no approval. And this energy is not found outside. It grows from within. It grows each time you choose truth over popularity. It grows each time you choose peace over performance. It grows each time you choose presence over pressure. It grows each time you choose yourself without guilt. You begin to feel your own life with new eyes. You begin to understand that people's opinions are often reflections of their own fears, their own limits, their own insecurities. And you finally realize something simple. Their thoughts were never meant to guide your life. Their opinions do not build your future. Their judgments do not define your character. Their doubts do not shape your destiny. All of that is inside you. Your destiny is inside your choices. Your peace is inside your attention. Your strength is inside your silence. Your freedom is inside your self-respect. Zen teaches, a man becomes free the moment he stops running away from who he is. And when a man becomes free inside, he becomes powerful outside. Not loud power, not dramatic power, not controlling power, a quiet power, a peaceful power, a grounded power, the power of a man who trusts his own journey, the power of a man who can be alone without feeling lonely, the power of a man who can walk forward without needing to be pushed, the power of a man whose worth does not rise and fall based on someone's opinion. This is the kind of man the world respects the most, not because he demands respect, but because he carries it within him. Respect becomes a natural fragrance, flowing from his calmness. Confidence becomes a natural energy, flowing from his clarity. Trust becomes a natural response, flowing from his authenticity. When you need no approval, you become whole, and from that wholeness, you can give more love without losing yourself. You can help others without draining your own soul. You can listen deeply without fearing judgment. You can forgive without becoming weak. You can walk away without breaking. You can love without attachment. You can speak truth without shaking. That is the Zen masculine state. A mind like calm water, a heart like open sky, a soul like steady earth. When you reach this place, you realize something profound. Approval was never the real challenge. The real challenge was accepting yourself fully, because once you accept yourself, no one in the world has the power to reject you. A Zen master once said, if you live for people's praise, you will die from their silence. Let that sink in. You were not meant to die in silence. You were meant to rise in self-awareness. So now, move differently, move slowly, move gently, move with attention, move with intention, move with clarity, move with self-respect, move like a man who carries peace inside him, even when the world outside is loud. Move like a man whose heart is steady, even when life shakes him. Move like a man whose steps are guided by inner wisdom, not outer noise. Move like a man who trusts himself deeply because he no longer seeks permission to exist. Move like a man who walks lightly but leaves a deep presence. Move like a man who does not chase but attracts. Move like a man who needs no approval because he finally sees that everything he was searching for was already within him. You are that man. You are capable of that calmness. You are ready for that awakening. Walk forward now, with gentle confidence, with quiet bravery, with inner stillness. Move like yourself. Move like truth. Move like awareness. Move like a man who needs no approval, because finally, You understand your own worth.